A shop in the Metro is inviting you to get lost this winter. Lost in the Forest specializes in common and rare houseplants.
Garden guide Dale Kay joins us live from the shop in St. Louis Park this morning. Hey Dale, good morning.
Hey Hannah, no better place to be than in a wonderful little forest like this, a truly little nook and cranny of the city. So if you're starving for a little bit of green, this is definitely the place to come. But the best thing is they've got some really cool, really unusual plants as well. So if you're into plants, this is the place to be. Joining us this morning is Forrest. How do you say
Schroeder.
Schroeder. I had so much trouble with the last German part of it. Okay, so we're lost in the forest. You're Forrest.
Yes.
How did you go from being a school teacher to plant specialist?
You know, it was really an accident. During the pandemic, our school principal challenged all students to have a perseverance project, to try something new and not give up when it got hard. And I thought I couldn't be a good teacher if I didn't also have my own perseverance project. So mine was actually a vegetable garden, and I just fell in love with plants, and it kind of migrated inside. Ended up being really bored in the summer without a summer job, and I just started propagating my own plants and selling them on Facebook Marketplace, and 3 years later, here we are.
Now you're actually in a little spot across the street and moved into this place, a little bit bigger space recently?
Yeah, so we were across the street in the West End for about 2 years, and then we've been in this space since October, and it's about 3.5 times larger than our previous space.
And along with the plants, you got a lot of cool like giftware and some kind of fun stuff to go with plants as well.
Yeah, we love, you know, finding things for everyone. You don't have to love plants to love our store, and we just want, you know, everyone to come in if you're with a friend or a parent and find something that you'll want to take home as well.
I actually got 2 little things picked out. I'm going to show them at the end. Classes as well, so kind of houseplants can be a little bit of a challenge growing.
Yes, yes.
You do a lot of events as well.
Yeah, we're kind of dipping our toes into that side of business. We're doing some more plant classes as well as just classes about, you know, making pottery or just a wide variety of classes, so you'll have to keep your eye out for those. And then we're welcoming a variety of other small businesses in as well over the weekend to have little pop-ups. So we've been having some like coffee pop-ups, some jewelry pop-ups. We're having a few this weekend with like hats and mittens, as it's been rather cold in Minnesota.
Right, and this is the perfect space to kind of escape all that cold. Now, I know you were down in South Florida last week, poking around, finding some rare plants. A lot of them are growing down there. Show me some examples of what you're excited about or what the trends are in houseplants.
Yeah, for sure. So while we have all the kind of the classic houseplants, we really got into having plants that were unique and kind of hard to find. So this guy right here is probably, if I had to pick one, my favorite plant. It is actually a philodendron. It's called a philodendron tortum. It often gets, you know, mistaken as a fern, but it's just kind of creepy looking little fingers, and I absolutely love watching these new leaves unfurl.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, they're just kind of funky, kind of creepy looking. I can't get enough of them. So this is probably one of my favorite plants, and it's actually pretty easy to take care of. It's similar care to any other philodendron that you might have at home. So that is that guy. This guy over here, if you can pick that guy up, is one favorite. It's actually a pink variegated banana plant.
Ooh.
I do not know if the bananas come out pink. I've been asked that. I haven't seen it with my own eyes, so I don't know if I can, you know, make any claims on that. But folks just tend to love the pink variegated plants.
Almost looks a little bit like Pink Princess, but not.
Yeah, but it's the banana version of that.
You're right.
Yeah. So this guy right here is another kind of customer favorite. It's called a philodendron Florida Beauty. Yeah, it's pretty fun. So it has this kind of yellow, creamy variegation on it, the coloring on it. And each leaf is kind of like a surprise where you never know what it's really going to look like. Sometimes they're all green, sometimes they're all yellow, and kind of every combination in between. And on the petioles of these guys, the part connecting the leaf to the main stem, they have this like reddish, bumpy hue to them, which is kind of fun and, you know, a subtle thing that's cool about this guy.
This one's always a crowd pleaser here, right? Or
yes, well there's
super rare.
I brought 3 of them. So this guy right here is the Monstera aurea. Aurea meaning that it has yellow variegation on it. Folks love the variegated Monsteras. It is probably the #1 requested plant that we get. This guy down here is the albo. We don't have any big ones just because we can't keep them in the store. So this is the Albo. It has that white color. And then this big guy down on the floor here is the Monstera Thai Constellation. So it has more of a like constellation kind of look to it, and the variegation is a little bit creamier in color. In a lab, so you're not going to find any of this plant naturally.
One here.
Yeah, so this one is probably one of the more rare plants that we have in the shop. It's called a philodendron caramel marble. The coloring on it is what makes it really special. Each leaf is truly unique, and this leaf in particular is quite rare. It's almost like a twin leaf. So normally they don't come in like this, but it's like a twin as it's kind of producing two end lobes here.
Perfect. Well, we got to run, but here are my two favorite things. Look at this little plant daddy hat, and to put yourself to sleep, a little hot pillow, like a Monstera.
Oh
Back to you.
Plant daddy. You got to have that, Dale.
You are the plant daddy, Dale.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Love it. Some cool stuff.